Hello everyone, I'm Tamir Ortiz, and today in this video I'll be discussing some depositions that I possess, some that I believe that I need to work on before entering the classroom as a first year teacher, and some characteristics that a teacher should have, and a few other things in the video. So the first topic I'm going to discuss is the depositions that I possess. So the first one is respect for diversity. I can relate to this because I grew up in 3 different households. So the first household I grew up in was with my birth mother. She was very lenient about things, she wasn't very strict on discipline, and I didn't have a nice structure growing up in her household. She just told us to have our homework done by 7 p.m. so then we can get in bed by that time. She wouldn't track our homework or much of anything like that. And then the second household was my birth father. He was very strict on school, and that's all I needed to focus on. I didn't really have room to be myself or to explore what I was discovering about myself. I didn't have anything but that other than school. And then last, my adoptive family's house. They were kind of a combination of both, where I got to explore myself and I got to explore school, and I got to join activities in school and sports and clubs. And it kind of made school a little interesting and fun, because at my dad's house, it was just, you need to make an A's in all class. But at my adopted mom's house, it's like, well, you get to join clubs that you're interested in, and then it kind of made me less stressed about school. And so this goes into respect for diversity, because I know that every household is a little different, and not everyone has the same interest in everyone. And so I understand how culturally it can be difficult for some students to acclimate to the classroom, because there's just different stressors in their lives. So I would like to be compassionate about those things. And then the second one is high expectations. And I have this one because growing up in my adoptive mom's home, I felt like she had very low expectations for me. The only time I felt that she had high expectations for me was in math class, because she knew that I did very well in math class. But other than that, she was like, it's okay that you got a C in this class, you can do better. I think she played her thought process, just because I have ADHD, is that we can let it slide. And so I know what it's like to have low expectations. So when I want to enter my classroom, I want to allow the students to know that I believe in them. I'm willing to learn their weaknesses and their strengths and other things like that, so that they can stay motivated. I can implement their interests in the classroom. Things like that. I had a math teacher in high school, actually. She told me, Tamira, you get the hard stuff, it's just the easy stuff that you don't get. And at the time, her classroom decorations were a little bare, and so I think she started putting up decorations to kind of remind me of the easy stuff, like addition and subtraction, because I would easily forget to add something or subtract something during my process on the math application test, things like that. So a deposition that I believe that I need to work on before entering as a first year teacher is dedication. Now, when I say that, I don't necessarily mean that I'm not dedicated to teaching. Is that there's just some period of time where like punctuality and dedication to like grading things and being on time on things. I know that I'm not perfect on that at all, and that's something that I definitely need to work on before entering as a first year teacher. So I believe a professional educator should have a few of these attributes: compassion, dedication to their job, and willing to receive criticism. And one standard I believe that teachers should have is having their students as number one priority. That should guide their thinking and their actions, and when that's their first priority, I believe that leads them to be a good educator. How will I uphold these expectations? Well, one of them that I can give by example is respecting differences. and that's part of the code of ethics. And I'm respecting that is knowing that not every student learns at the same pace as everyone. They have different learning styles, and keeping that in the back of my mind, I'd have an open mind to be willing to teach a subject in a different way, to have one-on-one time with the student, maybe if they're not getting the way that I'm teaching it in class. I had a teacher in high school who basically said, this is the only way I'm teaching it, this is how I know how to do it, and I really struggled in that class. I promote healthy moral development with my students in my class. I think a big thing for me is honesty, and having honesty as policy is, I guess I can kind of stand the fear that students have coming to a teacher and being honest with them, because some teachers aren't as approachable, and that's another thing. I believe that teachers should be approachable, but in implementing honesty in my classroom kind of looks like, hey, I didn't get my homework done, and not making up a lie about it and why you didn't get your homework done. Just be honest with me, and that's something that I would like to promote in my classroom.